Hey guys, welcome to another weekly vlog. This week we are in taper mode. So we've done our hard week of training last week. This week is more of a normal week of training because we're obviously tapering down. So not as big a week, but still a proper week of training because we don't want the fitness to drop off into race day. So that meant starting the week with, apart from a day off on Monday, did an interval session on Tuesday. So long intervals, 4 by 8 minutes, and we programmed that into our watches, but it was quite annoying because the watches would keep beeping at us because it had a preset heart rate. We were either too low or too high heart rate, and my heart rate was in the high 160s to 170 for about half an hour, so it was quite a difficult session, which is meant to be, my sort of anaerobic heart rate, but I think it's probably about threshold or a little bit above for me. Then we've been doing weekly swims at the pool, and also just mucking around in the ocean as well each week for a bit of recovery. And we did a swim at Marion Pool after the run Tuesday morning, and we did a run after the swim, so to get the mileage in. This week the target was to still get a reasonable amount of mileage in because we're wanting to still keep building that aerobic system, still keeping the aerobic training in, not letting that drop off too much, but also not being a week that's going to really tire us out. So it's just a normal training week with some decent mileage in it. So with the long run, I managed to get that in on Wednesday, and it was a more hilly long run than I did the previous week. So 3 hours, very hilly compared to a flatter 4 hours the previous week. And did it in the afternoon. It was a bit warm and I felt quite uncomfortable, ended up blowing up a bit. So I'm finding that my long runs, I've been struggling quite a bit, which is not too good for the confidence, but I guess it is good to know that I have my limits. And I looked at the run afterwards and realised that I'd spent about an hour at that 160 heart rate, sort of that threshold or close to threshold range. So I was just running it a little bit too fast for that to be sustainable for an ultra. So yeah, it was okay for 2.5 hour odd run, but a 3 hour plus was a bit quick. That was a bit disappointing to have had a few runs in a row where I've struggled on the long run, and I'm thinking, well, what have I done wrong in my training? And I had a look back, and my aerobic fitness seems to be pretty good, but I think that's the main thing I need to keep focusing on, is keep the aerobic training going for the next few weeks. So on Friday I did a run through Sturt Gorge. My goal for the run through Sturt Gorge was to feel good on the run, set at a heart rate which was more comfortable, and do it as a aerobic run where I'm working that aerobic heart rate range between, for me, 145 and 156 is what my target was, and I managed to get over an hour of the run in that target heart rate range, so I'm quite happy with that. The gorge is looking a lot drier than it has been, and a lot of the river trail is hard to actually run during winter, so it needs to be low enough creek levels to get over the rocky sections without getting wet.
If he can't make this, then I've got no chance.
A lot of single track in Sturt Gorge. It is race specific to Tarawera, so that plus elevation, reasonable amount of elevation as well in the run, meant that I got in 3 good aerobic training sessions, and it was time for a recovery run on Saturday just to loosen it with Nat to get some extra Ks in, and followed that up with the Sunday run with my brother Michael. We did the trail running SA Morialta long course. And the reason why we chose that is, again, a hilly long run for Nat. About 3 hours was the target. My heart rate was quite low, being just over 100 for the run, but still getting in some hiking. So again, good to train the hiking. And the good thing is my foot is allowing me to do this type of training, this kind of 100k week for this week, with an extra run Sunday afternoon. So that makes for a 50k week for Nat and 100k week for me. Nat's been doing consistently about 50k's a week, so that's in line with her normal training week. And with me, again, I've been a little bit less for my weeks, but I've been doing more biking, but I've dropped that off and replaced that with running. So 100k week is around about the same effort that I've been putting in. So less than 2 weeks until race day, and feeling like done enough to get through and have an enjoyable run at Tarawera.